Hi everyone, welcome back to Novel Nomad. I'm Kate and today I am actually going to be doing a review in part of my Book Riot Reading Challenge for 2016. Now it was to read a book that has been adapted into a movie, then watch the adaptation and compare which you think is better. So my choice for this challenge was Carol by Patricia Highsmith. Now this has been getting a bit of hype obviously for the movie itself as well as the book on BookTube, and it was released earlier this year. I did go see it in early February and I had the ticket to prove it, so this is my movie ticket, and yeah, I just jumped straight into it. So the book itself focuses on a young woman called Therese. Now she is living in New York. She is an aspiring stage designer, actually designs sets for stages, and she is living in a 1950s New York, early 1950s, and to get extra money over the Christmas period she actually takes a job at a department store and she works in the toy department, and this is where the book opens. In the department store, Therese first meets Carol. Carol is shopping for her young daughter and Therese helps her out, but Therese develops a sort of obsession over Carol, and Carol is also interested in Therese, so they meet a little bit later and Carol takes Therese out for lunch, and from there it is exploring this world, this connection that they have with each other. It is a beautifully moving, slow-paced romance. It also has what Patricia Highsmith is known for, very good psychological aspects. It delves very deeply into Therese's mindset and how she moves from being the innocence who she is into the woman who she's going to be, and how Carol helps her to discover who she really is. I absolutely loved this book. I was not expecting it to be so... It was slow, but it wasn't boring as such. It just was so gentle and it was just very moving, and I felt very connected to both characters. I did feel the character of Therese annoyed me sometimes in the way she just assumed things to just be so. She just made assumptions, but that was very much part of her innocence, that she would just make assumptions straight away. Where the character of Carol also had a flaws in her own sense, where she was temperamentally, you know, quite cruel to Therese sometimes, and it almost took away from the romance in itself, but it showed two flawed women who came together and they loved each other violently and beautifully. In comparison, the movie differed a little bit in that Therese in herself was a photographer, not a set designer for her plays, and I suppose that worked well for the visual cinematographic element, in that she could be fascinated with pictures and not fascinated in creating fantasies. So she wouldn't be able to capture people, and in that she actually focused, they said that she focused more on birds and inanimate objects and nature, and not actually people. She didn't want to capture people. She felt like she was intruding. So that was almost her innocence, where in the book it was the fantasy. She loved all the ballet sets, the very big elaborate, but she never understood the simplicity of a set that could enhance the acting and the place. Where in the movie it was her not wanting to photograph people and having this kind of shyness towards people, that she actually grew from there into capturing people's emotions, who they are, who they really exhibit themselves to be, without any inhibitions on her own part. Carol was played by Cate Blanchett and Therese by Rooney Mara, and I thought it was a beautiful movie anyway. The clothes and fashion and the times were absolutely stunning. I absolutely loved it, and it was like the book. It was slow, it was gentle paced, it was just a development between the two characters. I did, as I would the Book Riot, I did prefer the book because you had more of a development and a growth of Therese, and especially of Carol, seeing them how they interchange. One thing I did like in the movie was the fact that you got to see more of Carol's point of view in the divorce proceedings and how she actually thought of different things and how she was coping with different things. And I did really enjoy that. I thought it was quite good in showing a bit more of Carol, because she's a bit more aloof in this one, but because Therese puts her so much up on a pedestal, you don't really get to know who she is, where the movie really allowed you to capture who Carol's character was. So I hope everyone gets to at least read the book or at least see the movie. They're both absolutely gorgeous. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.